Hey Dallas, how are you today? We are with a very special guest. Her name is Jenny Morrow. Jenny is a neonatal nurse at Medical City Hospital. So she has a lot of very important information for us with regards to that. But really, Jenny's an entrepreneur and she has created out of passion the most amazing brand that I can't wait for her to discuss with us and introduce to us. Jenny, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Having me. It's such an honor. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Jenny and I had the pleasure of meeting at a yoga retreat. We both follow this wonderful yoga instructor named Lauren Margulies. She happens to be my sister, and we started speaking, just having conversation at dinner one night, and her story resonated with me like to a point where I knew that Jenny needed to be somebody that I had in my life, but I really, more importantly, know that what she has built is going to completely impact women who are having children. And it's so important. Jenny, thank you so much for bringing this into the world. Let's talk all about you. Now, let's start with this crisis, because that's where we're at right now. I know you are a neonatal nurse. Can you tell us briefly what it's like in the hospitals right now from your standpoint?
Yeah, so to be honest, it's super overwhelming, and we're in this uncharted territory where we're just trying to figure it out. The last pandemic was 1918 with the Spanish flu, and I really believe after this, hospitals will be set up in a way that we can be more prepared. We'll have pandemic units, and we'll just know what to expect in the future. But for right now, every hospital, every birthing center, every physician, midwife, nursing staff is doing the best we can to provide safe patient quality care.
Yeah, I know that you are. I know that you are. What advice do you have for mothers who are pregnant right now during COVID-19 to keep their babies healthy and safe? What would you say to them?
I think there's three areas I would love to cover. The first is, more than ever, you have to be an advocate for yourself. You have to really think about, in this place where maybe we don't have as much control as we normally would like to. That's the same with pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
Just think about it. What would help you the most right now? What do you need to feel supported? And then talk to your physician, talk to your support team, figure out a plan that is right for you. Since everything's individualized, you have to really think, what do you need in this moment to feel the most supported and protected, right? And then figure out what works best by working with your physician and your team to help make that happen. And then also go through the unexpected. So since there is so much that is coming up now, let's go through those areas and let's figure out, okay, well, what can be my plan if this or this happens? And whenever you're in birth, it's probably going to go completely different, right? As a mom, myself and you too, we know how it changes in the moment. But if you can go in preparing for the unexpected and working as a team, you're going to feel so much more confident in the decisions you make. And that's what it's all about, right? Because as moms, it's your body, it's your baby, and we have to do everything we can to feel safe and protected during this time. Another thing is going to be stress management is huge. So we know that fetal development is directly affected by stress in our lives. Well, we are in a pandemic. We're going to be stressed.
Yeah.
So finding ways to manage your stress, it could be as simple as taking your hand, putting it over your heart, taking a deep breath and just saying, I am not in control, and that is okay. So as simple as this, it decreases your central nervous system, helping calm the parasympathetic nervous system, putting you in more of a state of relaxation, because we're constantly in this fight or flight mode. So finding ways to step away from technology and just implementing those things that are so important to you to bring self-care back into your life during times like this. And then the next one would be learning what you can do. What can you do after baby is born to protect you and baby. So something as simple as paying attention to your hand to face, right? So there's this one, and I'll share this link with you, but there is a ICU doctor in New York, and he's working on the front lines with the COVID. And he went over just a couple simple things you can do to protect yourself and your family. And one is becoming very familiar with this relationship between your hand and your face. Washing your hands constantly for at least 20 seconds whenever you come into contact with anything, or even hand sanitizing. And then not touching your face. But if you think about it, we do that all the time, right? And so pay attention, washing your hands, trying not to touch your face, and doing the best you can to protect yourself. And then if we go further than that, let's talk about breastfeeding. So breastfeeding is more important than ever. There is a study being done by the University of California at San Diego School of Medicine. They have a theory that women who are exposed to COVID, so that could be someone who's asymptomatic or symptomatic, we're building up a form of immunity. If you look at the people that have been infected, they're either not getting it again or it's not as severe. What if you're able to pass on immunity, not just to your child to protect them during their newborn phase, but what if it protects them for the whole duration of their life? Think about it like that. We know that in breast milk, antibodies are released, protective immunity is released. If you can do everything possible to protect your child right now and for years to come, it is worth looking into, right? It's worth considering getting help while you're in the hospital with breastfeeding, reaching out to your pediatrician if you need support, La Leche League, also Unique Footprints, anything you need to feel supported, because if there's one thing you can control, it's worth trying to breastfeed, right? So those are my 3 top areas that I think would help.
So important. And it's been a long time since I've had babies, but I do remember all those feelings of, especially with the first one, of fear and, how do I protect her and how do I keep her safe? And I can imagine that right now, senses and would be up. So that's beautiful advice. You are also an entrepreneur, and I know you have been passionately working on a project that you have recently brought to life. Unique Footprints has finally been born. Can you talk all about it? I want everybody to know exactly what it is that you have built, please.
Yeah, so I have a background as a neonatal intensive care nurse, and I soon realized that these families aren't prepared to have a neonatal intensive care baby. It usually happens last minute, and it's overwhelming. And a lot of the nurses that I work with, I started noticing and doing, statistics and stuff with them for my job, and 50% of the nursing staff were having unfavorable birth outcomes.
Wow.
I just knew there is more that we can do to support women during pregnancy, to help them prepare for motherhood, and to improve birth outcomes. So that's where it began. And so for the last 3 years, I have been working with other healthcare workers who I truly believe in to put together this program to help women on a whole new level for pregnancy, birth, and the transition to motherhood. So I launched a prenatal yoga program at Methodist Health System, and it went really well, and we loved it. But I just felt like there's more I could do to help women all over the world. So why not take the concepts that work and add on to them to help more women and more families and ultimately more babies? And so that's kind of where it began. And so what it is it's a 6-week online pregnancy program. You have access through your whole pregnancy and for 3 months postpartum. And it truly sets you up for success. It's evidence-based. There's nothing out there that exists like it because it's truly skill development. And so you'll learn ways to manage stress. You'll learn ways to focus on nutrition in a way that's realistic and easy to implement in your life. And everything is from experts. So for instance, your UF food guide is created by a registered nurse, a registered dietitian. You'll have a stress management course, which is needed more than ever right now during this time, with a licensed professional counselor. You have birth preparation to help you prepare for the unexpected with a registered nurse, prenatal yoga with a licensed professional prenatal yoga therapist, and so much more. So since I've been working on this for 3 years, I had a baby during this time. And after I had Jane, I just felt like there was so much more we could do to support women because postpartum was a shock. And I don't know about you, but postpartum is it's just
Yeah.
something that no matter what you do, it's hard to prepare for that. And so we have a whole postpartum preparation section for you that covers what to, look at with your newborn. So what's normal, what's not, and things you can do to prepare now for their arrival. And then also something as simple as healthy infant sleep habits. But not only from like at birth, it's from birth till 3.5 years with a holistic infant sleep coach. And so things like that just to help you prepare now for what's to come later, as well as ways that we can heal through nutrition and take care of ourselves holistically to recover because your body just went through so much after your birth. And if we can take care of ourselves, we're going to better take care of our baby and our family. So that is just a little sneak peek into the program. I truly believe it has the power to improve health, and if you are interested, you'd be supported the whole way. There's also a community of women, so anybody in the program can talk about where they're at, what's going on, and feel supported and inspired the whole way.
I love that because there's probably a lot of loneliness in pregnancy that exists also. You can't, go out the way you used to, and, you're different. And so it's got to be really important to have that community piece
Yes.
alongside all of this amazing wealth of knowledge and advice from top
Also,
leaders.
for instance, right in labor and delivery and postpartum here in Dallas, most facilities, you're able to have one visitor. And I know that that's very stressful for a lot of women wondering, are they going to take that away?
Right.
So right now we do have one visitor, but in antepartum, that's where you go prior to delivery if, complications are rising and you're not able to have a visitor. So a participant in the program reached out and we got her set up with the whole community of women in the program to help her through this time. Well, now she's at home, she's safe, and she's going to, go back and deliver in the next couple of weeks if everything is going as planned. But she needed that more than ever. We're feeling
Yeah.
isolated, we're feeling overwhelmed. And knowing that you have women that are going through the same thing as you or are there to support you, it's just needed right now. And she felt so happy. And she even reached out and just said, thank you so much for the work you do because I felt all alone and now I don't. And so I just feel grateful to have been able to help her. And I feel like we can help women all over in a way that wasn't available before.
Oh, you will help all kinds of women and all kinds of people. I know this about you. I completely believe it. You know what I'm thinking too is for you, how different was it to be the mom and be the pregnant woman, versus seeing it from a different lens? And how much did that contribute to the outcome of where you're at?
Oh my goodness. So before I taught all the childbirth classes at the hospital, I worked with pregnant women in the, neonatal intensive care. I would go to deliveries help with, it's called Catching Baby, where you actually assist with the delivery and do neonatal resuscitation. So I had always been around it. But I will say things changed dramatically after having a baby because my outlook changed. The way I perceive things changed. So it was good. The timing was good. It took 3 years to launch the program, but it gave it space to evolve into what it is now, which is so much more powerful than it was 3 years ago, right? And so absolutely. And learning things as simple as going to the hospital, and let's say it's hectic, I come home. I've learned through this process that I have to regulate my energy, my mood. I have to be in the present moment so that I don't bring that fear and that uncertainty home to my family. And so learning things like that and then able to share it with other women, I just feel is so important. It's gotten to a place now where I feel more confident as a woman. And I just feel so grateful to be able to share that.
What is it like to step into entrepreneurship? And how is that affecting you versus, being a nurse is its own all kinds of stuff, craziness. But how's that been for you?
So it's a roller coaster, like, right? It is a dream project that I have been thinking about since I became a nurse. And to see it come into fruition is just such a blessing. But I did it the way that I felt like I could financially afford to do it, energetically afford to do it. And so it's taken time. And that's just the reality of it. It's not this instant gratification that we tend to want. It's more about putting in the hard work day in and day out and just believing in what you're doing. And so for me, when I started this project, I was working full time, which I still am in the hospital because we need money. We need health insurance. These are the things that are important, as well as my patients. I love the work that I do. But then I also took the extra time I had and I worked. And so I do it before Jane got up. I do it after Jane goes to bed. It's when she naps I can do it. And these are on my days off. And then taking any extra penny I had, not for vacations, but putting it back into the company. I built out the tech platform. I got with these women. We created this content. We're able to, put all this, these resources in one beautiful platform, but it didn't happen overnight. It took 3 years. And now we finally are able to launch it. And it's so exciting, but it's also nerve wracking, right? Because it's like something you've worked on, you believe in. You just want to help as many people as possible. So when I got my first person to sign up, I was just jumping up and down, so excited. And now we have hundreds more. And so it's just beautiful how it works out. And no matter what, it's just about doing what you believe in, never giving up, and just knowing that it's all worth it and taking feedback and learning.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you've already stated it, but I'd love to hear the answer to this before we figure out how everybody can sign up that needs to for this amazing program. What is the impact that you hope to make? What is in your heart that drives all of this?
Honestly, it was to improve birth outcomes. It was to help women in a way that doesn't exist, to give them a chance to feel supported, to feel inspired, and to help them during pregnancy, birth, and the transition to motherhood. Because as women, we can empower each other and we can find strength in motherhood. And that is the goal, because I truly believe we can do it if we do it together.
Jenny Morrow, you're going to do that. I know it. How can we connect and how can we sign up for Unique Footprints? Please tell everybody.
So uniquefootprints.com, you can find all the information. And I truly believe maternity support should be within reach for every family. So with that being said, we're only pricing at $7.95 per month. And it's month to month if you can only afford a month, and then you're done. But you know what? If you can afford a month and then you feel like, hey, I'm kind of strapped, just reach out to me. We're going to do whatever we can, because the most important thing is getting this information out to you. And I wanted to make it within reach. So the month-to-month plan just seems to be the most realistic for right now with the times. And we have the amazing UF food guide. It's a 40-page food guide available for you for free. I want you to improve your health, your baby's health, and feel supported the whole way. So go to Unique Footprints, at least sign up for the food guide. You'll get that for free. And then if you ever want to sign up for the 6-week program, just know we're here for you and you're absolutely going to love it.
uniquefootprints.com. Ladies, if you are pregnant, if you are interested in becoming pregnant, I would say, if you want to learn more about the process, check out what Jenny Morrow and her team have created. It's unbelievable. I'm so proud of you. And I cannot wait to watch you soar.
Thank you so much.
You are going to do this. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure. Dallas, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much.